Hello, everybody. Um, it is Banlist season. YCS Houston just happened. Let me just say it was an amazing YCS. My boy, the Meme Teams won. Memento won. What an amazing thing. I love the fact that Memento won. Um, Raziel's day is coming. And the people are starting to pick up on that. But we had a ban list. As of April 7th, it will go into effect. And I am very, very, very upset right now. As someone who I am live, as you can see this first image in front of me, I'm going to live react. And the first image on here, I'm very upset because I see Bahamut Shark and Toad didn't get banned, which I'm happy, but what's it matter? Sharks is dead. My Shark deck is now dead. I can't make Toad anymore. Bahamut is dead. And Raziel, you're the culprit. I'm looking at you. You killed one of my favorite decks. This is your fault. All you people that play Raziel, screw you. Screw you in the biggest way. I hate every single one of you because you're the reason why this freaking happened. And we're not even going to get started on Atlantean because Atlantean Mermail who played Bahamut Shark, you're a close second. Okay? You're a close freaking second. The only deck that freaking played sticking ban Bahamut, the least you could have did was limit. But we'll get into what happened. But the Forbiddens. Griffin had to go. Griffin 100% had to go. I understand. Griffin made a ton of sense. Link Decoder, it's a Link 1. Link Decoder had to go. Malice can abuse the crap out of that in combo, and it's just an extra body for them to combo with. And it's just an easy Nightmare Griffin. So you get rid of those two cards, and then they just can't Nightmare Griffin lock you anymore. And then Dweller. Dweller was a big thing this weekend. And it still didn't matter because Memento still was able to get rid of it, which was good. But if they didn't have certain cards, they weren't able to defeat it. But then Bahamut Shark was... It was just so disappointing. I saw Bahamut Shark on this list and I dropped to my knees and almost cried. Like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay right now. I mean, they didn't hit my boy. They didn't hit Toad. But this is almost just as bad because I have QCR'd Bahamut. I have QCR Bahamut Sharks. And you just killed them. Thank you, Konami. Thank you. I love this. Because now I have all these slots. Oh, and don't wait. We're going to move on. Limits. This was a kill section, by the way. This was an absolute kill section. Because limited. Bestial Druis Worm. Listen. Not hitting Magnemite, banning Magnemite was big. But limiting Druis Worm, that's a close second. I like that, Konami. I like that. Which is a really good thing. You can't loop it anymore. That is fantastic. Hitting Shifter. Needed to go. I would have liked to see it banned. But limiting Shifter is great. Limiting Shifter needed to happen. Love to see that because that's also a slightly little hit to Malice as well. Masterpiece coming back that does nothing. Circular coming back. Are we going to see Mathmech come back, maybe? We could, because Mathmech can use these Agnister cards as well. So we may see Mathmech be a semi kind of rogue deck now again. Ryziel Detonator Limited. I didn't expect to see Ryziel Detonator on here limited at all. This is very close to the combinations of the OCG and the TCG list right now. Very, very close. And then Bonfire. Bonfire being limited sucks. But it needed to be done. It should have been done a long time ago. Because we have a deck that should have never even happened with Ryziel. And it kills Ryziel a little bit as well. Because you limit Bonfire. So Bonfire is a little now down on the list. Bonfire, I mean, Ryziel's still going to be good because it has triple 7th Tachyon. But it's going to rely on 7th Tachyon to that level, not Bonfire anymore, because now you only have one Bonfire. And if you ask the Bonfire, they're just going to... I mean, you have to hold it for one or the other. So, Brilliant Fusion coming back at 1. They're trying to sell the Gem Knight stuff. That's fine. Gem Knights is kind of a rogue deck, honestly. I don't really see Gem Knights really doing anything. They want to bring it back. It may be a new FDK coming around, but the one thing that I'm surprised they didn't hit was Catapult Turtle. But it's not really doing anything right now. So, and then they limited Crossout Designator and Triple Tactics Talent. Why? You could have swapped the two cards in here with a card you semi-limited, okay? And Crossout Designator, like, well, that's just great because now my Arcana Forest deck that I play that's an FDK deck, or not an FDK deck, yeah, it's basically an FDK, I just am dead. I can't play it with Crossout anymore. Which sucks. But if you recall, Bonfire was a reprint, Crossout was a reprint, Talents was a reprint, Shifter was a reprint. They were all reprints in Rarity 2. They hit them all. Abyss Dweller was too. They were all reprinted. Think about that for a second. They were all reprinted. And then we get to the semis. Holy Lord. Black Dragon, Collapse Serpent, and Wyver Burster are both back at 2. Which, honestly, Dragon Link gets a little buff. Yippee. Ash and Poplar's back at 2. What does that do with no OSS, am I right? Morphing Jars at 2. And Cyber Jars Unlimited, by the way. So, hey, Mimicool, you want to play some Empty Jar? But then, EXT Ryziel is at 2. Ice Ryziel's at 2. And so is Sword. They just straight limited the whole deck. So, and they did the same thing with Malice, by the way. Dormouse is at 2, White Rabbit's at 2, Shavara's back at 2, and Malice in Underground's at 2. So, what does that do? It limits them in the long game. Honestly, does this kill them? No. God, no. It doesn't kill either of them. Malice and Ryziel are still top-tier decks. They're still going to be top-tier meta decks. But are they going to still be around? Yes, absolutely. Now, in the longer game, are they going to be a little less powerful? Yes. Yes, because you get rid of that second name, they die. They can't really do much more after that. What stinks is, and here's the thing, the Malice the Malice and the Ryzules get another name in Alliance Insight, so it doesn't matter, and they'll just play more of the white, the blue hair, and they'll play more Star Ryzule, so they don't care. So they'll just play 2-2-2. And Malice will just play more the Ad Ignister stuff now. So it's fine. It's honestly fine. But Malice in the Underground hitting it 2 hurts that quick play spell that comes out in Alliance Insight as well. So that hits that. And then moving on to the Unlimits, Cyberjar, Danger Jackalope, Tsuchinoko, Ava, and Monkey Board. Those do nothing. Honestly, on it, Jackalope, Tsuchinoko, that's cool for people who want to play Danger Dark World again. And Cyberjar, I mean, who's playing Empty Jar in 2025? But overall, this was a massacre list. They went through, so what they're doing is, it's a semi-massacre list for the limited section in here, but in the semi-limited, it's a start to, I would not be amazed in the next list if these decks keep performing, some of these cards that are in semi-limits will go up, because this is what they used to do in the past. They used to put these cards in semis, and then they go up into limited, or worse, they get banned. So, would not be amazed if EXT Ryzule will, because that's what the OCG does. So, it would not be amazed for me to see that, and it would not be amazed for, I would not be amazed in the slightest to see that happen. Now, I always in these videos like to say what I think are the top meta decks going forward, top 5, top 10. Memento just topped. It just won a whole YCS, and that was with the top 2 decks in Ryzule, with full power Ryzule, and now that Ryzule's hit, Memento will jump up now. But, are they the top deck? No. Top deck, right now, is still Ryzule. Even with all these hits, it's still Ryzule. You hit Detonator, yes. Abyss Dweller's a little down. But we now have a pretty much, they still have 7 Tachyon. So Ryzule is still top deck. Ryzule is still the top deck. But it's kind of, the scales of power are still kind of even, is pretty even now. But I think the second best deck is Memento. Now, but I think it's Goblin Memento. Because as long as Ryzule is around, I think it's Goblin Memento. And I think it's Goblin Memento, and I think now we can officially say, I still think Malice is a thing. But now that Druid Worm is at 1, okay, that was an extender. It is hit at 1. Until Alliance Insight comes out, Blue Eyes is the 3rd best deck. Primite Blue Eyes is the 3rd best deck. And then I think we have Malice at 4th. And then at 5th, I feel like we have the Tomb Keeper deck, aka Odeon stuff. I still think that was pretty good. It had a good showing. Especially now that Crossout Designator's limited and Talents is limited at 1. All these decks can't play stuff that stops hand traps. So hand traps are going to be more powerful. And on top of that, Talents... Talents now is like, Talents being limited now is just, it's just so good now. It's just so good. And Detonator limited to 1 now, it limits the grind game for Ryziel. So, like, now it's kind of like you have a 1A and 1B in... honestly, I'm going to make a hot take here. I'm going to say that we almost have a wide open format here soon. We almost really do. I mean, it's getting close. It's getting very close because once Regenesis comes down and the Dragon Rulers come down and those two decks come down, now the moment that set comes out, okay, and Ryziel gets Star and Malice gets Blue Hair, things will just go back to normal most likely, and we'll probably have those two decks be on top again. But we won't have Druid's Room to deal with. We won't have Shifter that literally sets up everything. Now Allure is still a starter for the deck, so they'll probably go back to playing triple Allure just to be a starter instead of Druid's Worm to extend, and Shifter to be a starter, and a Disruptor for certain decks. But now that Shifter's gone and Abyss Dweller, the two things that Memento was kind of scared of, Memento is now top 5. Memento is a top 5 meta deck, and I honestly feel like these are one of the best decks in the entire room. Hands down. And that may just be me, but being a Memento main, but yeah. The biggest losers in this list, but Atlantean Mermail is still here as well. They didn't get Mo and Glacia hit or anything like that. So, which sucks because they can still just rely on the hand rip. So Mermail Atlantean's still top 5 in my mind, and still around. So you're still gonna have to deal with the stupid hand rip, and ripping 3 cards out of your freaking hand. And that's annoying. And you can't freaking stop it. So, but they don't have Bahamut Shark anymore. They don't have Toad. And they don't have Dweller. So that's where the more I'm saying it, the better I kind of feel about it. But Dweller was kind of a way to stop them. So now you can't stop Mermail anymore. This format's going to be all water and blue eyes. I'm not looking forward. I mean, Ryziel and that's been checked a little bit. But wow. Like, what do I do now? Because, I mean, Shark's dead. The Shark is dead. R.I.P. Shark. R.I.P. You didn't deserve this. You didn't deserve it. I'm gonna need some time, guys. I'm gonna need some time. Just stay awesome, my Dark Knights, because I'm gonna need it.